Alright, so we're going to talk about ellipses. This is a horizontal ellipse. I'm going to go through the different parts of everything that's labeled up here and how to be able to find your center, your vertices, your co-vertices, and your foci. In subsequent videos, I want to show you how to get into standard form. I'm going to introduce you to the standard form. This is just with horizontal. However, there's a standard form for vertical as well. So let's just start by looking at the ellipse. There are some key points in an ellipse. You're going to have your vertex. There's going to be two vertex. They're vertices. They're at the very end, right here and right here. That is actually, by definition, where your major axis intersects your ellipse. Those are your vertices. In between the center of the ellipse, right here in the middle, don't really need to explain the center. In between the center of the ellipse and the vertices are going to be your focus. The focus determines how high, how wide it is, or how round it gets. Something special happens when your focus is actually on your center, and we'll talk about that later on. On the top, right here, we have our co-vertices. They are where the minor axis connects with the ellipse itself. Your major axis goes straight through the middle. It's going to be the longest line. Your minor axis still goes straight through the middle, but it will be your shorter line. The distance from your center to a vertex we label as letter A. The distance from your center down to your co-vertex, we label it letter B. And your distance from the center to your focus, we label it as letter C. Now, over here, this is a very important part about an ellipse. A and B are always greater than 0. And A is always bigger than B, therefore they are always positive numbers. And A is always the biggest number when dealing with the ellipses. It's not true with other conics, but with the ellipse, it is true. A is your biggest number. Your standard form of the ellipse is right here. It's x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Ellipses, hyperbolas, and circles will all equal 1. With the ellipses, it's important to understand when you look at standard forms because there will be two standard forms. One for a horizontal and one for a vertical ellipse. You're going to look at the biggest letter. You're going to look at the letter A for the biggest number being squared. A squared. Look at the variable above it, x. Has to be horizontal because x is going to be your major axis parallel to the x-axis, and the x-axis is horizontal. If it's a vertical, your A will be underneath your y, meaning that y is on the top part of the fraction. Your major axis is going to be parallel to the y-axis, which is vertical. Right underneath here, define your center, is h comma k. H and k is every conic. With every conic, your h is attached to your x. Whatever's being added and subtracted, you're going to change the sign. Your k is what's attached to the y, added or subtracted, but you change the sign. For your vertices, it is going to be your h, starting here at the center, h plus a and h minus a. You have to go in both directions because the total distance of your major axis is 2a. There are two vertices. If I ask for two of them, you give me one, you're missing the other one, and you'll get that part wrong. Co-vertices. This, you're changing, you're going up and down, or possibly side to side, represented by the distance b. So you're going to go from your center. In this case, for the horizontal, we're doing your h stays the same, but to your k, you're adding and subtracting their distance b. Once again, there are two of them. They help you graph an ellipse. Your foci is h plus or minus c comma k. If you're given the ellipse with the distance, you just simply use the c. But a lot of times you're not given the graph. You're generally given your distance for your a and your b in your formula. Then we have a separate formula down here to be able to find c. It is c squared equals a squared minus b squared. It's always going to be your bigger number minus your smaller number because a is always the biggest number. Once you get all of this, you have all this information, then you're able to graph it within the context of the problem.